Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Coldfire. I've uh, I've been channeling these lovely love of frequencies in the in the past 2 weeks of February. Hold on a minute. So if you if you would like me to channel your specific situation, name, places, objects that you've asked for signs, I would highly recommend liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel, as well as going through previous content. Energy is timeless, so even if you're watching this at a later time, you will receive the message if you've done the necessary energy share. I don't know. I don't know. Suddenly, towards the end of my Gemini messages last night, I I don't know. I got hit with some intense energy. I felt it in the center of my chest, but also at the same time, uh, it felt like a love bombing energy, or I don't know. It was a collection of a few energies. It was unexpected, but I've gotten so used to being hit with some weird energies. Don't be misled. There's definitely something misleading about the situation. This is where I was getting at earlier. It kind of led me to stop my love reading. Not stop my love reading, but finish my love. It was towards the end of me finishing my love reading as it is. It was a cue for me to wrap it up. However, messages. There are some messages that possibly coming through social media. Your accounts might be hacked. Your person might be trying to get through to you, and you're also waiting on their messages. And it's just that your systems might be hacked, codes might be hacked. So don't depend on communicating via phone. Please change your numbers if it has to. Change your gadgets if you have to. Just hold on a second. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so like I was saying, change, changing something about oh the way you'll communicate with each other, even if it is telepathic. I was explaining in a video yesterday that telepathic communication can be intercepted. Intuitive communication, that is only in between divine counterparts, right? And if you have reached that level, only that time you will be able to unlock telepathic communication and um, sorry, no, intuitive communication. Otherwise, it's all telepathic communication. And after having said that, like I immediately, not immediately, just to prove just to confirm that I was right, I got hit by some fake telepathic communication. It was possibly somebody thinking loudly, doing a love spell of some sort, or a collective love spell done on divine feminine, or something like that, or jealousy as to how is this person predicting such lovely love stories? Why isn't there disparity? Why isn't there any fighting in between the couple that she's talking about here, the couples that she's addressing to, and how is it that they're seeing that the rest of the world uh, should be shut off? I don't know what it was. It was envy. It was insecurity. Later on, when I add also all the massive structures and systems that are built on negative emotions of insecurity, jealousy, envy, greed, lust, and all of those, and that's why it is making it easy. I mean, we are a part of that entire system. Uh, 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 that's come out of these dark and negative emotions and woundings and traumas. And there is another type of um, energy that is it's inverted, it's convoluted, it it shuns uh, being in a meaningful energy dynamic with another soul. And I think it was that, and the birthday gift mentioned it as the inverted feminine. It's just like I felt like, again, I don't know who needs to go through this lesson. Sometimes we need to go through these lessons uh, if we have to clear it out of our own shadow, disconnect from portions of us that no longer serve us, right? 1111. But I think it was because of the collective. We have the alliance here. There's collective messages coming in. So just change your gadgets or change something about how you hear or read messages. Structure, change the structure, structural changes. Community, maybe there's some constructions going on or around your community. Give it good thoughts. Maybe something needs to be some structural changes inside the house that you live in need to be made. More safe, secure, and cleaner, to build more safe, secure, and cleaner energy dynamics. There is something in India called as Vastu. So it's Vastu checks how where the energies are clogged in your house and what needs to be changed, what needs to be put where. If you need to change the place of where you eat, your dining table, and then if you need to change the place where where your sofas used to be or your study table. Structural change. Try it out for a little bit. Like, you don't need You don't need expert opinion or practitioner straight off. See where your intuition is guiding you. Like I said, your intuition cannot be interfered with, cannot be tampered with. It's your intelligence that is telepathic, your mind. The communication that you conduct through your mind can be tempered with. Come on, come on, give me a good card. Give me a good card. This is the moon. The moon is coming up again. We have the new moon happening in a few days, 4 days exactly. So we are in new moon energies. They definitely something that a male practitioner did. Look at that. Is it time to reclaim, reinvent the structures in my life? Black-footed ferret. Take over. I would suggest start small, but start like make a priority list. Now, since we are tarot readers, energy channelers, we need to. The first priority is to understand these negative energies that we sense around the world, and make and clear them off. We're supposed to transmute. This is what light workers do. This is what energy healers do. They talk about they they vocally express them. They verbally communicate as much information and knowledge that they are sensing in the collective consciousness, so that we hear it and we transmute it out of the system. First, when it's spoken, when it's understood and transmuted out of our system, you put it in words, then it what gifts what gift awaits? Glitter. Maybe somebody is thinking of sending you a gift. Try and magnetize a gift towards you that is more energetically appropriate towards you. And see, I sense two people trying to. I see two sets of very different set of people who are trying to send you a gift. One is sinister, one is meant to hurt you, and there's always that balance, like the light and the dark. Something that looks overly glittery and shiny and fancy on the surface holds no meaning inside. It's dead on the inside. And they're sending you dead energies. Dead energies will make space for anything, for the dark to set in. And if you aren't aware of the dark side, if you haven't looked into the shadow aspects of things, anything that has caught on to it, if there, let's say somebody gives you a box of chocolates and somebody else gives you a jar of honey, right? The one who gives you a box of chocolate really does it out of the with the intention of cheering you up. And the one who gives you a jar of honey to wants you to think highly of them, or wants you to be pleased by the gift, or wants you to tell everyone that they gave you this jar of honey as a gift, right? So the jar of honey will just have dead emotions or sentiments. It's just based on materialistic stuff, right? And the box of chocolate will have rich and potent energies of love and frequency. Now here we have empty space. It's an empty gesture, the jar of honey, right? So it must have caught on to some kind of energies, some strange energies, and those will definitely come from the dark side. We don't know, like the unknown is the dark, is what we refer to as the dark, right? So any type of objects, and especially relationships, I'm sensing this, like maybe some people are still engaging with dead friendships, dead connections, and then through that some other entity is speaking. Friendships that were never alive, in connections that were never alive, they were just based in material um, resource convenience, leave room for dark entities, the shadow self entities, to communicate with you. And if you don't know how to communicate, have healthy communications with the shadow side, the dark side, and recognize that the way they react is going to be painful. It is going to be painful if you're going to be in denial of the fact that you're getting psychic attacks. There is some black magic being done on you. If you're going to be in denial, if you're going to be arrogant, if you're going to be delusional enough to, or how do I say it? If you're going to be led to only thinking that there is something wrong with you and you can fix it, if you have a messiah complex, um, savior of your own life, and you will have to go through this hero complex, whatever. If you have something of that sort, you are going to forget the concept that there is something larger at play. The telecommunication systems is a cosmic network. You don't know where it's coming from, which entity, which system, which galaxy, which planetary system. It's not just about this individual human being. It's a grand physical plane of existence that we are a part of, and we're so small a portion in it. We can make our own life, the experience of our life better if we acknowledge that there is something bigger at play here, right? But we refuse to do that. We refuse to think of things as a part of a large system. I know internal work is important, but if you are completely disregarding the fact that there are physical digital systems in place here around you, and they're much larger, and you forget to investigate and look into that and see if anything inside you resonates with it. And even if it doesn't, why isn't it resonating? If you are unwilling to investigate these matters, because they make you feel uncomfortable. They trigger something in your ego self saying that it must be me, it must be me, it must be me, instead of investigating it as a phenomena that happens in the collective consciousness, and it's just the dark side. If you're willing to investigate into matters of the dark side and the shadow side by being completely detached to it, then let me tell you, you're definitely going to get your happily ever after, which will include a good career, which will include great health, which will include a great life experience in general, and with the one for you, it will include all of that. We have the King of Cups next to the King of Cups, so there could be two masculines here, or you interacting with another masculine who um, your masculine is interacting with your divine counterpart, twin flame person, or soulmate. Uh, or there's this heart to heart communication, because maybe the love spell that I had channeled in one of my late night tarot reads yesterday, it triggered a lot of heart chakra cleansing, and I think now the masculines can also have a healthy conversation amongst each other. Come on, two more cards, please. Yeah, the masculines of the twin flame collective are able to have heart to heart conversations, and also the feminines of the twin flame collective can rest their energies and just relax and hold space for this connection. So I see twin flame friendships coming up again. So the the person connecting with you, it could be anyone. It could be a karmic, it could be a matrix, fake person, it could be anyone that I'm channeling. If I get specifically uh, any kind of situation, whether it be romantic, platonic, or divine connections, such as divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmates, or whatever you resonate with, if there is something specific, I do connect with the divine collective connections more. But I also do end up channeling karmic and matrix energies quite a bit. What are they doing collectively as an energy system? Karmic is an energy system that has been retired completely. The old Earth matrix system has been retired completely, and the new Earth matrix is coming through. So this person that I'm seeing thinking deeply about the work, communicating something about work with you, and this looks like a network system. They want to give you clarity on some kind of network system. Some messages are coming through. Um, they really want to speak with you regarding some communication network. It feels like it's coming up to the surface very clearly on where the messages went missing, and how that entire thing works. You might be getting some technical information from someone uh, who wanted to talk to you about this a very long time ago. It's like they wanted they yeah, like okay, this could be a twin flame, so a person, a soulmate, or divine counterpart, any romantic situation in love. This person wants to talk to you, where the messages went missing, and they've tried to trace. It's like we didn't get a bunch of messages from our person, and a bunch of messages were changed. A lot of social media posts were changed. This person was completely unaware that the message was not communicated with you, and they thought it would be one or two messages, but an entire chunk of essential messages of love and their feelings were not communicated with you, and they were mixed with some other probably workplace situation messages, and it just became about workplace discussions. All the love messages never reached you, and they've conducted some investigation, a sort of investigation in this matter, or they had somebody look into it. They had somebody look into and investigate this matter, and now they know they have some they have the entire case study uh, here, and they're thinking of coming and speaking to you and clearing it out, clearing that mess out, giving you technical information. And technical information is showing up here. They had no idea about this shadow system, or the system that runs in the background of hackers, and this the dark AI stuff. The dark AI stuff. They were completely unaware that, I mean, they probably knew, they knew that this kind of system exists, but they did not know that their messages would go missing. uh I think, like, they dropped their, they were kept in the dark. They were kept in the dark. They were this is a shadow side of technology element showing up. Like I was saying, like, we think that our accounts are not hacked. We think that, the dark side, it will not happen to us. W- our communications will not get blocked or intercepted. And once we realize something's off and something happens, especially like when it's the person, it's our beloved, somebody that we really wanted to communicate with, and it had to be over messengers and social media and things like that. But and we did that. We took the first step. We were bold and we sent in the communications, and it never. And what we feel that this person is ghosting us, this person has blocked us, and it's not true. They must have replied instantaneously, or they must have also sent a hi or a hello at the same time, thinking that, let me take the first step and be bold and initiate communications. And you haven't received it, and neither did they receive communication from you. A large chunk of communication, like, look at this, with the Four of Cups, with the Eight of Wands, Three of Pentacles. Like, there was some system here, some dark system, the dark web system, hackers collective, uh, trying to intercept or work messages. Like, they were thinking that you were working on something together secretly, like in the shadows, and that's why they tried to intercept a communication. But all that happened was your simple highs and lows got blocked. Your love messages to each other have got blocked, right? We had the Two of Cups there earlier, and that's the clarity that's coming in. And that block is being released. That block is being released. Yesterday I also had that purge. There's a that there's death to this messiah complex, or needing to fix this problem with a group of people over here. They're feeling dead. They're feeling like these bunch of people are dead to me, whoever this is. Where this block has been released, and you're gonna get all those messages, or messages. You're gonna get all those messages, like, possibly first they're gonna give you a complete, like, technical document level explanation of how these messages got blocked, and what is this network, what is this name of the group of hackers and people who intercept other people's messages, and etc. Like, this great investigation has been conducted, and it was conducted only to communicate all these things with you, and now that that report has been compiled, and they just want to speak the truth to you, and release this block. That's about it, and so that y'all can start communicating with each other. They don't care about these people, like this group of people. They have successfully told them that, I don't give a shit about you. You can do whatever the hell you want to. You can fight amongst yourself. But if you'll come anywhere close to me, I will make sure that your entire this I'll put an end to this permanently. I will have you jailed, and this is what I'm getting. They have threatened them with jail, or threatened them with grave consequences, because they have some information that they have dug up on them. So they're feeling very. I'm getting the sense of, like, I am going to make sure that these people activities are stopped, and their movements completely restricted, and obviously reported to the authorities, and how much harassment that they have done. They're feeling like, this is, they had this group were targeted to make to end their lives, and uh, they knew that there was an attack on their life, actual life, many times. Through via this spell, they have learned to recognize the traces of magic that have come to them, and they have learned it on their own. They have seen that the evil eye was placed on them, and eventually a few death spells that done on them. So they're feeling that they have to stand up for it, and move away from these connections, from these groups of people. Um, Walk away from them completely, put an end to these connections. They might have, and they're walking towards that information. Yeah, they might have put an end to the resources that they were getting through these activities. They might have compiled the entire information of the sorcery, the black magic, the illusions that they were creating, and they are presenting a case to the authorities. And some really high officials are presenting the case as in that they are a criminal group that indulges in horrendous crimes of targeted harassment, gang stalking, and intercepting messages, which is criminal. It's incriminating. Can have you put behind bars for life imprisonment. So they're taking life imprisonment cases regarding this group of people, this specific group of people who interfered with their communication with you. That was their cue to take action on this group of people. Possibly earlier they were turning a blind eye to these activities, but now they've made it official. They've made it an official investigation. They have said that, yes, I have been officially investigating these matters. Look at my report. And they have messed around with my life quite a bit. They have also they indulge in occult activities, moon rituals, and these are spiritual crimes, even if they might not be registered as uh, on the criminal record. But this is the lens that they are willing to go through to do to put psychic attacks and black magic and influence. There have been certain inexplicable deaths as to how did this person their freak accidents. Those are all death spells gone wrong, and it can happen. And they have some proof. They like evidence to document, and studies and research that they have put together regarding mental energy harvesting, and how it can affect 717 3717. So they've put compiled supporting a documentation of studies that are ongoing on these phenomena as energy harvesting. So they have put studies a- um, together and compile with references and everything. They stating that yes, mental at least the conclusion is like if somebody is mentally harassed, if somebody's messages are not going through to their beloved, they'll go into depression. If there is a lot of chaos and fighting and purposely done, like clout surrounding certain people, they're going to get mentally exhausted. They're going to be emotionally depressed, which could lead to them not being aware of their movements. To them being um, in going into a zone where they become incapable of uh, thinking clearly for a moment, because they're engrossed in their own personal issues, and that could lead to accidental death. And so they've concluded their statements with saying that when they're feeling strongly that they should first approach the authorities before they come and speak to you. So they're approaching the authorities slowly and steadily, and they're presenting the case as in, I was deprived of communicating with the one that I knew communicating with would help me sort out my emotions, because I was feeling very heavy emotions towards them, and they didn't allow that to happen. And also, when I came to my thoughts, they were blocking communication on something that we were working together. They stole our ideas. Uh, they're very clear that a lot of ideas was stolen, and possibly ideas that you two were working together on some and with somebody else. So that puts intellectual property, um, um, stolen intellectual property, and you stressing out somebody stealing somebody's intellectual property. Those are registered crimes. So they're approaching it from this perspective, very clear. Ace of Swords, something that can be explained, that can be expressed and spoken into, releasing the um, releasing something from the shackles, something beautiful that's supposed to come together into one singular piece. They really do believe in this creative project that y'all are supposed to be working on together, and they're doing all that. They're speaking from their heart, they're thinking clearly, and uh, they're getting the right words, they're getting the correct leads, they're getting the correct evidence on this group, this Five of Wands group of people. They did conduct a death spell, but and they thought they were successful in it. But what was successful was their feeling, and this King of Cups people. So your person had already gone and informed the authorities that they will do this, and some recordings or some words being spoken at these people regarding a death spell that was conducted, some names being taken, their name being taken, your name being taken, during this death spell ritual, has come to the light, come to the surface, evidence, some recording, and it has been passed on. Um, this death spell was targeted at two men. One of them might be a father, one of them might have a wife and a child. It was targeted to separate cause anxiety, a lot of mental anguish, energy exchange. based on emotions, probably some kind
It's 10 o'clock.
some kind of argument over a wife and a child. Um, they want to talk to you about some kind of future visions that they've had. They really want to talk to you about that. They want it's something about moving away into shifting into a different, completely different reality, the more appropriate reality, the reality that they've been dreaming and visualizing and hoping to manifest in the real world. They really do believe in the power of thinking and putting a structure in place. It, they're saying something when the grand disconnection, love connection comes through into your life. It's time to change the structures that exist uh, that will bring in the vision of the future that was promised. So something uh, this connection between you and them changed their approach to future completely, their visions of the future completely, and that's what made them change the structures in their life, reinvent, reclaim everything in their life, complete takeover of their life. So they learned independence and how to charge forward with their own vision without having to confirm it with anyone else, including you. And so this caused mental anguish between another possibly masculine or their father figure. It was a little painful. The words that were exchanged left a lot of anxious energy in their mind. Some like the earlier structures ended, the world card clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. Give me a moment, please. Sorry, that was the daily garbage collection. So as I was saying, there's some old structure, financial structures that came to an end. Uh, Once they started implementing this vision of the future they have of you and them, and starting a very, I see a very grand vision. And earlier, the structures of their life involve somebody coiling around their resources and having control over their resources. So something of that sort changed. Um, so we have the King of Cups, the paternal figure and Mother of Wands here. So mother and father, they kind of had a hold on this person's material world resources and what happens to their future, and they had their entire life decided for them. But when they meet you, you might be divine counterparts, twin flames, soulmates. Their visions of the future with you will change everything, the base structures, and they want to talk to you about this. They want to discuss that how, because the future includes you, right? So now they're finally able to, after dealing with all of this, they're finally able to actually talk to you about what they have visualized as a future for the two of you. Let me see. There are some cards that have not shown up from this deck. I'm sure of it. Or maybe they have. It's a smaller deck. It's a less number of cards. Okay, I think I have gone through almost all the cards. Yes, I have. All right. So we will take what comes through. All right. As I was saying, a letter is being compiled. Like this is it's done. It's compiled, and it's coming through. It's something about, like, this official nature of this investigation. It's very heavy and it's very sinister. And it um oh, the space they're working on, the space, actual physical space, it's a very beautiful space, where the higher self of the divine masculine, that is the hierophant, the cosmic higher self of the divine feminine, that is the high priestess, they have created this invisible plane. And uh I've done a few of lives where I've spoken about this invisible plane as being something that came off as an alternate reality, where all of your blessings were stored, that the destinies that divine counterpart have in their life, they were stored there. And the timelines that you were living in were timelines where you had to actually clear a lot of heavy karma for the collective. That's why you were kept away from actually being in this companionship with your divine counterpart. So your invisibles, yourselves would meet in this invisible plane, and there's a lot of information. This like entire alternate reality multiverse are happening over there, and it's going to start small, but it's starting small. They're feeling like they're sensing this magical place opening up, uh, and they're really worried that there's someone else who's eyeing that space, and they're really anxious that this person will try to project it as being their space and take over their space. Maybe this person has always there is a friend or somebody who's in toxic competition with them, has always been a toxic competition with them. There are some heavy emotions involved here. um, and your person knows that once they know the physical location of this place, they're going to try and take it over, or they have these fears against this. This person might have done that in the past. They're having a conversation about this, and there's a lot of mental anguish. I hear them talking to this person saying that you've done this in the past, and here I'm putting. I was okay with that in the past, but when it comes to this, I'm going to end this connection completely because it's causing me a lot of mental anguish, and I don't wish to pursue this connection anymore, this friendship anymore, because of what is important to me and what is coming through to me is my divine connection with my beloved. We have the lovers card here, right, and we have so there's a toxic divine masculine to divine masculine connection. The connection which is still divine masculine to divine masculine, which has turned toxic right now 10:10, and that's coming to an end 10:10 on the clock. It's 10:10 a.m. Right? It's coming to an end, and there's a lot of painful things coming out to the surface from both sides. A lot of toxicity coming out from both sides. A lot of accusations of mental causing mental anguish of insecurity and insecurity. Basically, this connection has become extremely unsafe, even if it is in between two divine masculines or evolved masculines. One just they're meeting at crossroads at the end of their friendship. So the higher self of the divine masculine of the divine masculine counterpart and the higher self of the divine feminine counterpart, they're meeting here together at the invisible plane. And these two divine masculines who are walking this, they're now separating paths. They're going their separate ways. So there's a separation that's happening, but there's a lot of shared a trauma bonding that was happening between these two divine masculine friends, and that structure has been broken. The arrangement that was there in the world for such kind of energy dynamics to play out have completely broken. They do not exist at all in the future. The future is blank when it comes to this. um because look at the difference. This is what is going on in this connection between the divine masculine and between two divine masculine friends, right? This is what is going on. This is what is going on, and this is the vision of the future, which is about the lovers. This is what is going on. This is the kind of mental energy exchange going on between two divine masculines and all the other masculines in their life, like, so the masculines on this person's life, on this person's side, and the masculines on this person's side, the entire masculine collective that is associated with these two masculines, these two divine masculines, and their friendship. The energy exchange, the mental energy exchanges of utter anguish, right? Utter anguish, utter and complete anguish. Whereas the future, this is what the future beholds: the beloveds coming together. It is destined. The energy is here already. The energy is here already of this bright and wonderful future. Look at that. Like, there's rainbow colors. Bright and wonderful future coming, visions of the future coming through, right? So this needs to be cleared up and broken up completely for you to be able to claim the blessings of the invisible plane. The invisible plane doesn't just hold material world blessings. It's a wholesome picture. It's a wholesome picture of the future, and what is at the center of it is divine unions, this romantic love. It's about that. That is what is coming through. Yes, there is abundance consciousness completely locked in and all of that. But that is something that is happening as a consequence of true love. True love, people in true love, souls that have been separated a lifetime after lifetime, are finally coming together, And that's going to change the energies, shift the energies and the structures of the world as we know it. It's going to be an initiation of true love, letting go of ego, that is karma. We've put it to rest completely. We have learned about the ego self, the material plane, the karmic connections and bonds, and that is coming to an end. Structures built on that are coming to an end, a complete end. And now they're just being those are just deceptive ways, and there are a lot of people who have functioned under these deceptive ways, the five of swords ways, and tried to crush people in their sleep, keep them down in the dumps and depress them in their waking hours, sending them torturous mental energy, torturous mental energy continuously, and they without realizing that it's all going to go in the collective consciousness. And it was just to maintain. It was just to maintain these old earth matrix structures. When it comes to money, it was very small. The vision was so small, and that's in self sabotage, the shadow side overtaking and sabotaging everything for the self. The self is made up of both light and the dark, and uh, s- the visions of the future are built on that entire spectrum of both light and the dark in equal measure. The light side and the dark side communicating in perfect harmony with each other and creating a sustainable, bright, and wonderful future for us. But if the dark side takes over, if the darkness, the karmic plane, the underworld is wearing heavier, if the karma is really really heavy, right? That's those structures need to just be broken with amount of faith that these structures are uh, g- putting weightage and giving credibility to the dark side more, and those connections and those structures, those monetary structures, financial structures need to go, because this is more brighter and beautiful. The ways of love, the love is the frequency for perfect communication. Every soul, the frequency of the soul is labeled love, right? And there is the masculine polarity and the feminine polarity, and within the masculine polarity there's a dark side and a light side, and within the feminine polarity there is a dark side and light side, right? Neither the masculine nor the feminine are one is the dark side, nor is the light side. No, both the polarities have a dark side and a light side. If you have spent most of your time in either one of the polarities, your light side has taken over the dark side of that polarity, and the one that you have neglected or not spent your time in consciously, lifetime after lifetime, that has gone way deep into the shadow. And generally it is the masculine polarity that is put in the shadow most of the time. That's why it becomes toxic, wounded. And then when two masculines reach that final stage of divinity, they bring about all of this anxiety and darkness and shadow to be transmuted, and the structure, and they end the structures around them, so that this anguish and mental anguish also ends with it. And that is what is called transmuting the shadow side. uh, Unfortunately, but fortunately as well, some connections will need to go. Large groups of people will have to be dispelled away from this person, and they're feeling very strong and confident in dispelling these groups of people, putting them inside jail cells, in custody, and running evidence which will lead to death sentences as well as life imprisonment of some people that they have been closely associated with over the last 1 year, one year clearly, who they've spent a lot of time with, Bill possibly, worked with them and stuff like that so that they can gather this evidence. But now they're clear. Their conscience is extremely clear because the real work is now upcoming with this this letter explaining the entire situation, that entire set of messages that didn't go comes through to us, as well as the entire set of messages that you might have said that didn't go through, or the conversation that you might have wanted to have, which was blocked in like the physical conversation aspects. But there were definitely some digital messages that this person had thoughtfully sent regarding some creative project to you, which were blocked, but they never get deleted. They were just blocked. They didn't come through to you. And now that that entire data bank has been released, they have compiled a letter of all the missing the messages, Mercury messages that went missing. And let's now read this. Don't be misled. When fear speaks, it's always wrong, unless being chased by wildebeests. And when love speaks, it's always right, and usually bouncy, king on the universe. So these messages have bounced back and they have been changed. The structure has been changed now, like the sequence of the messages have been changed. And sorry, the way it's going to be given to you is going to be in form of a handwritten letter. So that is what has changed. It's no longer a digital message; it's actually a physical message written down on pen and paper. And the structures, the sequence of the messages has been changed around because some time has passed. A lot of things have happened. Maybe there's some kind of notes. This is what happened while I was sending this message, like giving time, stamp references. This is what was going on. This is what I saw, and this is what I visualized. This is what I studied. This is what I discovered. I got some kind of lead on some research that's going on, and it's something to do with the creative project. They're really keen on discussing some passion project, creative project. They have some really brilliant ideas that over the last 3 years that they've been wanting to talk to you and possibly communicate to someone. And once they discovered that you were the person, the perfect person, holds that exact variation of love frequency that they hold in their soul, their energy frequency, along with the awakening of the masculine, as well as the ascension of the feminine. Uh, y- y- you all were doing this journey together. You are the person. They realized that, okay, finally I can speak to her, and then that was blocked. That communication was blocked. But it is really essential and really really important for this person. Think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. Okay, put yourself in their shoes. Okay, and think about it, that you've had this creative idea. You've had this clear structure of how this passion project can be put into a business structure, right? You've had it since a long time, let's say like 8 years, let's say 8 to 10 years, a decade worth of research and putting things together, learning some skills, learning about this changing world, the technological revolution, and all of that. How lifestyles are changing, the way people live are changing because of digital technology and phones and internet and things like that. All of that, and coming up with a suitable, workable method for yourself, like a business idea, which which involved another person, right? Like a business partner, or one or two business partners. They possibly had somebody else in mind, and we are the third person, the third business partner that they were waiting for, right? And suddenly these messages get blocked because people don't want this to work out. They want to capitalize on this not working out. And that was their motive. And that's why they blocked communication between you and this person. Maybe they thought that they just want you to want you to both of you to be left thinking that you are forever going to be missing out on this opportunity of working on this project. And that is very depressing. That puts you in low spirit, that depresses you. And some people are just evil. They're funded. The evil is also funded. All right. So that people do not bring about this change, but it was something that is inevitable. And now imagine now this person had a clear idea and then they spoke to you and then they wanted to speak to you. They initiated communications regarding this partnership that was coming together. And since they were blocked, they didn't get any reply. They thought that they had missed the chance of talking to you about this and missed the chance of working with you on this. Maybe you went another way or something like that. And then slowly, so gradually, they understood that no, there's something very fishy going on, and somewhere, possibly like 5 or 6 months ago, 8 months ago, they started investigating into this matter of how did these messages start getting blocked. Yeah, 3 months ago, about 3 months ago, they started investigating into this messages, blocked messages. They're like, where did these important messages that I wanted to communicate with my beloved regarding work, where did they go? How did that happen? And that data was released. They found that pocket of data where there's missing messages and all these ideas that they had communicated. Like, it was literally like process manual of this entire project plan that they had never ever spoken to anyone other than that other business partner they already had, and they were waiting for a third one, and that was you. Possibly this masculine was thinking that they could be, they were the third one, but they weren't, because they were causing a lot of anxiety. They were the ones whose mental energy, so this is the kind of mental energy that this person, this other person connected with your person, right, creates in the mind of somebody who is capable of creating such beautiful business ideas, passion projects, templates, and also being able to liberate like a pocket of information, all because of their heart energy pumping with love for them. And they're able to release mental blocks very easily because the basis or the foundation of it is very creative, very vibrant, or very, very, very clear, very sharp. They have amazing mental abilities. Like a person, like the thought forms mental energy is really beautiful. That cuts through all of this drama and chaos and all of this unnecessary entanglement, this mesh of drama and chaos, and puts a stop to this very elegantly. The heart energy is also very, very, very life affirming, very freeing, very liberating, and subtly so, and also quite powerful and driven enough to put an end to this cloud group that causes nothing but chaos and destruction. Whereas this person has the need, this person interacting with them in this wounded masculine energy, distorted, not wounded, but distorted masculine energy. They are the ones who attract these large group of people, like, because they need that sort of support system around them to be able to function under this kind of toxic mental energy. this chaotic mental energy, right? So, so now this now this person, they thought that they were the third partner on this passion project. They just assumed it. They have nothing against them not being it, but they just assumed it, and they worked from a place of this trauma bonding. They have some traumas and some mental energy that they need to release, and that's why they needed a lot of people around them, and possibly in a very ritualistic social gathering kind of way that will make this person feel like a messiah, right? And that needed to be shut down because they were associated with our person, and our person was too is has gained that ultimate clarity and has liberated this information, these messages, and has put it down into a compilation of words, put an end to these energies associating with these energies, and have filed and submitted a report, investigated complete investigation report on actual occult uh, mental energy harvesting, illusion creating projections, and scaring people and causing trauma. That these group of people that this friend of theirs, this masculine friend of theirs, distorted masculine friend of theirs, needs to be able to learn about the shadow side, that that they have long ago transmuted for the collect our person has long ago transmuted for the collective, and not only that, released it. Our person has reached the place where they are seeing the invisible plane reality coming in, and now they are being instructed to put an end to this the structure and get into a real alliance of divine masculines. This came out yesterday as well, right? So the new beginnings for this new moon that's coming up now on the 20th of February, the focus is the vision of the future, and this is what they're communicating intuitively. This is intuitive communication. This is once again. So this is intuitive communication, and it's your invisible plane blessings too, like all are together here. So you know this, this is coming together, and very fast as well. And this is a chariot. This is the Cancer card, but this is also considered Pisces energy, right? It's coming together. My Venus is in Cancer, so this is perfect love frequency connection here. A very a communication based purely in love is coming through. This connection is being acknowledged for what it truly is, the expansive uh, nature of this, with alternate realities, invisible plane, structural changes, release from trauma bonded friendships, as well as parental control over a very grown up person's future through money, all the money, family money, and things like that. All of that is being written out of the future because of this, the lovers, twin flames. So the Gemini card, as well as like the twin flames card, right? Twin flame union energies that we have in 2023. And it's not like a union window, it's a union energy, it's a permanent union between the masculine and feminine, the collective masculine and feminine, the collective of souls here on planet Earth will have reached union as the light side and the dark side now make peace and stay in balanced harmony. Right now, there's communication, some kind of
spiteful, bitter communication going on. The light side is also pissed off, and the dark side is also pissed off. But the frequencies of love are taking over, and those shall be the permanent frequencies here for communication. That'll be perfect communication, perfect messages. This next Mercury retrograde that's coming up is going to be the most interesting experience ever. I don't want to break the surprise. I will do readings then, and but yes, y'all are going to be very, 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 very happily surprised during the next Mercury retrograde. So I will see you in the next reading. Please like, share, and subscribe if you would like me to channel those specific situations and give you some signs synchronicities and through names, places, things, colors, objects. All right. Have a nice day. Bye.